Hello, this is Mr. Yun, and today we are going to be learning about how to solve linear equations involving distributive property. And the key phrase for today is if something looks complicated, make it look easy first. And this key phrase is not just for this lesson, but for math in general, is that a lot of times we get stuck in a math problem. And whenever we get stuck in a math problem, it's very common for students to get stuck because it looks difficult. Then my tip in those situations is to do whatever you can first. And when you do it, it'll look easier. Now I'm going to teach you how to solve linear equations involving distributive property by showing you two examples. And keep in mind that this is not the only method to solve this question, but I'm only going to show you one method to avoid confusion. Now, I have a question that says 8 times 4b minus 6 is equal to negative 176. So keep in mind that this 8 is being multiplied to everything inside this bracket. And the key phrase for today is if something looks complicated, make it look easy first. And we can make it look easy by doing whatever we can first. And we know that this 8 needs to be multiplied to both 4b and minus 6. So we're just going to do it. So we're going to multiply this 8 to 4b and to negative 6. And if I do that, 8 times 4b is going to become 32b. And 8 times minus 6 is going to be minus 48. Then my new equation is 32b minus 48 is equal to negative 176. Now we just have to do what we have been doing in previous videos. So first, I'm going to isolate the variable by getting rid of this negative 48 by doing the opposite. So we're going to add positive 48 to both sides. Then I get 32b is equal to 128 negative. Now I have 32b is equal to negative 128. Now I want the b alone, and 32b means 32 times b, and opposite of 32 times is divide by 32. So I divide both sides by 32, and I get b is equal to negative 4. Now let's try one more example. Over here I have 4x minus 8 times 5 plus 2x is equal to negative 124. Now there are more numbers and variables, so it's very common for students to get scared. But remember, whenever you see something complicated, do whatever comes to your mind. Do whatever you can do first. Then try to think of a way to make it look easier. Over here on the left side, on the right side I have negative 124. That does not look very scary. But on the left side I have 4x minus 8 times 5 plus 2x. And that definitely does look scary. So I'm just simply gonna do whatever I can, which is I know that negative 8, 5 plus 2x is 8 times 5 and 8 times 2x. And keep in mind, there is a negative sign here. So I'm just going to do the calculation, multiplication, and write it down again underneath. So 4x will stay as 4x. And negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. And negative 8 times 2x is minus 16x. And that is equal to negative 124. And over here on the left side, I have 4x minus 40 minus 16x. And we can see that 4x and negative 16x are like terms. So I can combine them. So 4x minus 16x is equal to negative 12x. And minus 40 will stay as minus 40. And that is equal to negative 124. Next, now, and looks like a lot more simple two-step equation that we have practiced. So again, we need to isolate the variable by getting rid of this negative 40. And we get rid of that negative 40 by adding 40 to both sides. Then negative 40s will get cancelled out, and on the left side I'm left with negative 12x, and on the right side I have negative 84. And over here, negative 12x means negative 12 times x. So we can isolate x by doing the opposite of negative 12 by dividing by negative 12. Then I arrive at the conclusion that x is equal to 7. So let's summarize today's lesson. So let's say we have an example, 2x plus 2 times x plus 3 equals 4. Then the first step is to distribute. So we see that 2 can be distributed to x and 3. So we multiply and we arrive at 2x plus 2x plus 6 is 4. Then we simplify whatever we can. We know that 2x and 2x are like terms, so it gets combined to 4x. And 4x plus 6 is 4, because 6 and 4 just gets brought down. Then you just need to solve it by preserving equality. That's it for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.